to today's episode on how to make your own hydrating lip gloss and lip plumper. So today I'm going to share with you some industry secrets on how to make a low-cost, effective lip gloss. And basically, and you can also use this as a hydrating lip balm as well. It will give you a high sheen, but that's just because of the hydrating ingredients that we're using today. A dermatologist's favorite hydrating balm or ointment is Aquaphor, and you can ask your dermatologist what they typically put on incisions as they're healing, and they'll usually recommend Aquaphor. So we're going to be using that today, and also we're going to be using lanolin. And lanolin is often used in lip glosses, and it's got a very unique smell, which is why I've chosen this particular brand, because it is, there we go, it is actually has a pretty nice smell for being lanolin. It is an all-natural product, and I like this particular brand a lot, but it really, when mixed with the Aquaphor, it gives the most emollient, yummy texture. So those are basically our two bases that we're using in our lip balm. And what I recommend you do is find some sort of use these little pill containers, that's how they're marketed, or a travel container, anything that you can find that you can use as a little place to store your lip gloss. And a chapstick tube or a lip balm tube is probably not going to work because these are going to be too soft. And I used to put a little bit of wax, and you do have an option of putting some beeswax in these if you want, but I prefer not to. So that's why I prefer these little wells for that. So I've got two today, so I'm, in case I decide I want to make a couple of preparations. We'll go ahead and get started, and basically the recipe is just one part of the Aquaphor and one part of the lanolin. And so I'm just going to use my little wooden spatula here to take the material out and then just put it inside of my little lip pot. And I'm just estimating how much to put in here, and when it looks like it's about 50-50, that's good enough. And the lanolin is very stiff. And sometimes I just use my finger. Make sure you have clean hands before you get started. Okay, so my stick just broke. Okay. I should have had a metal stick. No big deal. All right, so now I've got my two parts in here, and I'm just going to mix. And what you can do is put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and that will help unify these two ingredients a little bit better than what I'm doing here by just mixing. You don't have to, but if you want a more homogeneous mix, that is going to be more effective. Also, if you want to put a couple of maybe 2 tablets of beeswax, if you've ever seen the little pellets, rather, of beeswax, you can do that to change the consistency, and it'll make it a little bit harder. But again, I prefer not to do that. So this is basically our hydrating lip gloss base, unscented and just in its raw form, no color. It will have a little bit of a pearlescent, pearly hue. Love this. I use it all the time, and I get compliments on it all the time. And so the next step, if we decide that we want to make it a lip plumper, what you need to do is add some sort of, for lack of a better word, an irritant. And that's what lip plumpers are. They usually have some sort of cayenne pepper or cinnamon. And so what I've chosen to use is cinnamon because I just love it. I love the way that it tastes. I love the way, mostly the way that it tastes. And so the key is to find a good cinnamon oil. And I found a hot cinnamon oil on Amazon. It's a Loran Oils. And I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it is the hot cinnamon, and I know it's edible, and it's like the cinnamon hot candies. And I've tried to use essential oils, Young Living, and but I'm not entirely certain about the whether they're safe for consumption, because you will end up consuming some of this. So that's why I went with this. But if anybody has any suggestions, please let me know. So I have just a little pipette here, and this is one of those things that you can just add, kind of play around with how many drops. I usually start with about, for a lip pot this size, I got these at the Container Store, I usually add about 4 drops, and then just mix it in, and voila, you have your lip plumper. And some people have cinnamon allergies, so before putting this on your lips, you may want to do a little skin patch test with your cinnamon oil on the inside of your wrist to see if you get any red bumps or a little rash. Cinnamon oil is very irritating, which is why you get the plumping effect. So something to be aware of. Another option, if you don't want to use cinnamon, again, is cayenne. You could probably use the powder. Also, peppermint oil is another option as well. So now I've got my colorless lip plumper, and if you would like to add some pigment, there are all sorts of options available. And I have this Gold Rush, which is a mica, and this is a particular, again, I've been shopping on Amazon, so I don't know if there are any Amazon haters out there, but I've just been doing it out of convenience. But this particular brand, you can get so many different colors, and they have some really pretty pinks and peaches, all sorts of different colors, blues, purples, and you basically just can put maybe, I'll go ahead and demonstrate here. Okay, so I am actually adding this to my other pot here, and I'm going to add just maybe about 1/8 of a teaspoon, if that. That's pretty generous. And then you can stir that in. And when you add the colorant, you definitely want to put it in the microwave. And the microwave is really the most convenient way. You can make a water bath, but it gets pretty messy. And there is our pigmented lip plumper. So a really nice, pretty shade of gold. So you have just learned how to make hydrating lip balm, lip plumper, and colored lip balm plumper. So thanks for tuning in today, and it was fun sharing this with you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.